So, when I say the word trust, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably some dusty old legal document, right? Something only for the super rich with their yachts and mansions. Well, let's just clear that up right now. A trust isn't just a legal tool. It's probably the most powerful insurance policy you can have for the business you've worked so hard to build. And this isn't about being wealthy. It's about being smart.
Let me ask you a very direct question. If something happened to you, I mean, right now, this very moment, what happens to your business? Who's in charge? Does everything just grind to a halt? Does it even survive? If you can't answer that in a heartbeat, then you are in exactly the right place.
All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to talk about a huge blind spot that almost every founder has. Then, we'll unpack the solution, what I like to call the protective box. After that, we'll jump into the real-world benefits for your company, bust some common myths that hold people back, and finally, we'll lay out a clear step-by-step path to get you secure. Let's do this.
Okay, first up, the founder's blind spot. This is all about a major shift in how you need to think. It's about realizing that how you structure your success is every bit as important as how you achieved it in the first place.
Here it is, the core of the problem. As entrepreneurs, we are obsessed with making money, growing the business, chasing the next deal, increasing revenue. That's the fun part. But we almost always forget to build a strong container to hold all that value. And when that container, that structure, has cracks, everything you've built is at risk. Your business, your wealth, and yeah, your family's future.
And look, this gets right to the heart of it. Your business structure isn't just boring paperwork. It is the rule book for your money. It literally decides how much you're going to hand over in taxes, what a creditor can snatch up in a lawsuit, how fast your family can even get access to funds if they need them, and, maybe most importantly, whether your business lives on or just dies with you.
So if that's the scary problem, what's the solution? Well, it's actually pretty elegant, and it's called a trust. But let's just forget the legal jargon for a second. I want you to just picture it as a super strong protective box for everything you've ever built. Okay, so what is a trust? In simple terms, it's basically a legal agreement. You, the person creating it, are called the grantor. You put your important assets, like your company shares or your house, into the care of someone you choose, the trustee. That trustee then has to follow your rules to manage those assets for the people you want to benefit, your beneficiaries. See? It's that simple. It's a protective box, and you write the instructions on the lid.
Now, this protective box isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. It really comes in two main flavors. On the left, you've got the revocable trust. Think of this one like a personal toolbox. You're in complete control. You can put things in, take things out, change the instructions whenever you want. Its main job? To make sure everything transitions smoothly and stays out of court. Then on the right, you have the irrevocable trust. This is more like a bank vault. When something's inside, it's way harder to change things. But that's exactly what gives you that ironclad protection from lawsuits and some pretty serious tax advantages.
So let's talk about the payoff. What does this protective box actually do for you as a founder? Well, it creates this incredible safety net for your company, and it's really built on 4 key benefits.
Benefit number 1 is huge: continuity. If you're suddenly out of the picture, the business is like a baton and a relay race. Who grabs it? A trust completely eliminates that chaos because you've already decided. You name the person who steps in to keep things running. There's no confusion, no power vacuum, no partners freaking out. The business just keeps going. Second, you get to avoid probate. And trust me, you want to avoid probate. Think of probate as this giant, bureaucratic black hole. It's incredibly slow. We're talking months, sometimes years. It's expensive. Legal fees can eat up a huge chunk of your assets. And it's all public record. A trust is like a secret bypass that goes right over that entire mess, getting your assets to your family quickly and privately. Third, we've got asset and lawsuit protection. Being an entrepreneur means living with risk, right? Well, an irrevocable trust can build a powerful firewall between your personal wealth and your business debts. So if the business gets sued, a creditor can't just come after your house or your personal savings. But here's the crucial thing. You have to build that wall before the storm shows up on the horizon. And finally, tax planning and what I'd call real legacy building. A well-structured trust can be a game changer for reducing estate taxes, which means you get to pass on more of your hard-earned money. But even more importantly, it lets you set the rules for the future. You can specify that money is only for education or that your kids get an income over time instead of one giant lump sum they might blow through. That's not just leaving money, that's guiding your legacy. This slide really lays it all out. Let's imagine two founders. The founder on the left, without a trust, their business is instantly frozen, stuck in probate court. Their partners have no idea what to do. Their family starts fighting over control. And the worst part? It's all public. Now look at the founder on the right. With a trust, the successor they chose steps in that very day. The business keeps running without a hiccup. Their instructions are crystal clear. And the whole thing stays private. The difference isn't just small, it's the difference between chaos and control.
So, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but why isn't everybody doing this? Well, it usually comes down to a few really common and really wrong misconceptions. Let's just tackle them head on. All right, here's the big one. Myth number 1. Trusts are only for the super rich. They're for people with private jets, not for me. The reality? That is just not true. If you own a significant asset and a business absolutely counts, so does a home, then you have something that needs protecting. A trust isn't a luxury item. It's a practical tool for managing what you've built. It's not fancy, it's just smart. Okay, myth number 2. A will is good enough. I'll just write one of those. But here's the secret they don't always tell you. A will is basically a one-way ticket to probate court. It's just a letter of instructions for the judge. A trust, on the other hand, is specifically designed to bypass the court system altogether. It gives your family privacy, speed, and way more control. And the final myth, and I hear this one all the time from younger founders, is simply, I'm too young for all that. But the reality is pretty simple. Planning isn't about how old you are. It's about how much responsibility you have. If you're old enough to build something valuable, to have a team, to have clients who depend on you, then you are absolutely old enough to have a plan to protect it, period. Okay, so you get the why. Now let's get to the how. It's time to turn all this knowledge into a clear, actionable plan to get you and your business secure. And look, it's not as scary as it sounds. Your path forward really just has 5 steps. Number 1, get crystal clear on your goals. Who and what are you trying to protect? 2, make a list of your key assets, your business shares, and your real estate, investments, the whole shebang. 3, talk to a professional who actually gets entrepreneurs. This is non-negotiable. 4, you create the trust, and this is the part people forget, you have to fund it. That means officially moving your assets into the trust's name. An empty trust is just an empty box. And finally, number 5, review this thing regularly. As your business and your life change, your plan needs to change with it. So we'll end right where we started. You've poured everything you have into building your legacy. The only question left is, how are you going to protect it?